Wind picks up and the air turns cold. Everything seems to move faster, including our minds. In this episode, we'll explore how Ayurveda helps us stay grounded through the changing seasons, what the air and the space elements really mean, and how to bring calm and steadiness back into our life. Hi, and welcome back to Rooted in the Seasons, where we explore how ancient wisdom meets modern life with a strong cup of tea and a dose of practical tools for real busy women. I'm Katja Patel, Ayurvedic diet and lifestyle consultant, yoga teacher mentor, and someone who helps you find calm and clarity through small daily rituals, seasonal rhythms, and timeless wisdom. Today, we're talking about Ayurveda for autumn and how to balance Vata and find ease in the changing season. Autumn arrives quietly, almost imperceptibly. The mornings turn crisp, the light softens, and the air feels alive with movement. Leaves loosen their grip, winds begin to swirl, and nature reminds us that change is in full motion. In Ayurveda, this is the season of Vata Dosha, the principle of air and space. These elements shape the atmosphere around us and also how we feel within ourselves. As the world grows lighter, drier, and cooler, we may notice those same qualities reflected in our skin, digestion, energy, and even in our thoughts. So how do we work with these changes rather than against them? Let's start with the language Ayurveda uses to describe what's happening, the elements and their qualities. What does Ayurveda mean by the elements? Ayurveda describes all of nature, including our bodies, through 5 elements: space, air, fire, water, and earth. Those elements combine in unique ways to form the 3 doshas: Vata, air and space; Pitta, water and fire; and Kapha, water and earth. Each element has its own qualities, things we can actually feel in our experience. Space is light, empty, cold, and vast. Think of outer space. Air is cold, mobile, fast, and light, always moving and unpredictable. Fire is hot, sharp, and transformative. Water is cool, smooth, and cohesive. And earth is stable, heavy, and grounded. So when we say Vata is light, dry, and mobile, we're really talking about how the nature of air and space shows up inside us, in our breath, our skin, our digestion, and even in the pace of our thoughts. Have you noticed any of those in yourself lately? Maybe a sense of lightness or restlessness, or a little dryness in the skin or the mood. So how do the elements of autumn affect us? Autumn is governed by Vata dosha, the energy of movement. And as we mentioned earlier, it's cold, dry, mobile, and light. But what does that really feel like in daily life? Cold is easy to spot. Temperatures drop and the body feels it. Hands and feet turn cold, and you naturally reach for that warm cardigan, the woolen socks, and a cup of tea. Dryness is another. The air dries out, and so does everything else. Leaves crumble, and our skin and lips feel tight. You might notice even a little stiffness or tension in your joints. And then there's mobility, that unpredictable, airy quality. The wind blows one way, then the other. Inside us, it looks like busy thoughts and scattered mind, a feeling like everything is happening at once. Sounds familiar? Finally, lightness, because both air and space are without substance. That lightness can make us feel unanchored, a little like the leaves that get blown around easily. So if you've been feeling scattered, rushed, or a bit untethered lately, this is simply the season expressing itself through you. And how does Vata affect the mind? Just as the wind stirs the trees, Vata stirs the mind. When air and space increase, our thoughts take on their own rhythm, quick, light, constantly shifting. In balance, this feels wonderful. Creativity, inspiration, that spark of fresh energy. But when Vata goes out of balance, the same qualities become restlessness, worry, anxiety, or difficulty focusing. Even simple things can start to feel overwhelming. Have you ever had those moments where everything seems to come at once? I'm sure you did. Thoughts, ideas, to-dos, and you can't quite catch up. That's Vata energy, moving too fast for the body to contain. When we understand these shifting winds of the mind, we can respond differently. Instead of pushing through, we can invite rhythm, warmth, and stillness, so the mind feels safe enough to settle. And this is really where Ayurveda and yoga meet, in a small, steady ritual that helps us stress less and live more. So how do we balance Vata in daily life? The first command of Ayurveda is simple: balance with the opposite. So how do we bring those opposites in? Well, to balance the cold, eat warm, cooked meals. Sip hot water or herbal tea throughout the day. Use warming spices like cinnamon, cardamom, ginger. Dress in layers. Keep your head and feet and hands warm. And move slowly to maintain inner heat. To balance dryness, stay hydrated. Massage warm sesame or almond oil into the skin, not just for dryness, but to calm the nervous system. And add healthy fats, avocado, ghee, olive oil to your meals. One of my favorite rituals is taking a teaspoon of ghee first thing in the morning with warm water. It's like moisturizing from the inside out. To balance mobility, reduce excess movement. Sit down to eat. Travel less if possible. Avoid multitasking. Create small daily rhythms that repeat. The nervous system loves predictability. And to balance lightness, eat grounding foods, root vegetables, grains, sweet-tasting fruits. Spend time outdoors, walk barefoot if you can, or simply notice the weight of your body supported by the ground. If you take one thing away from this, let it be this. Balance Vata with warmth, nourishment, and rhythm. That's how stress naturally eases and calm becomes something you embody. Now let's look at what role the breath plays in autumn balance. Our breath is where air and space move through us most directly. In Ayurveda and yoga, the breath carries prana, our life force. And it's one of the simplest ways to create balance. Pranayama is about rhythm and regulation, syncing with nature's pace. As autumn amplifies the air element, steady, lengthened exhalations or alternate nostril breathing, Nadi Shodhan, help calm the mind and anchor Vata's movement. Adding Ujjayi breath to your practice, that soft oceanic sound builds gentle warmth. And Brahmari, the humming bee breath, soothes and reassures the heart. You might even pause now. Take a slow breath in and let it go. Notice how just one mindful breath changes your state. That's Ayurveda and yoga in action. Balance through awareness. So how can yoga support us this season? As the air element rises, movement can become scattered or rushed. Yoga brings steadiness back. Choose slower, breath-led flows that build warmth without strain. Let Ujjayi breathing guide your rhythm. The gentle sound keeps you anchored. Even a short daily practice can reset your energy. It's not about perfection, but consistency. And when the day calls for rest, restorative yoga is your best friend. Lying close to the floor, supported by blankets and cushions, creates a sense of heaviness, an antidote to Vata's light and mobile nature. Try simple postures like reclined bound angle, the seated forward fold, or legs up the wall. That's my absolute favorite. Let yourself stay in there for a few minutes, longer than feels necessary. That's often where the release really happens. So to recap, movement kept Vata energy circulated, but stillness anchors it. Balance both, and you balance yourself. Here are some final thoughts. Autumn invites us to soften our pace and come back to what truly nourishes us: warmth, stillness, and presence. By understanding its qualities, we learn to live with change rather than resist it. Small acts of rhythm, a slow meal, a steady breath, a quiet evening, bring balance more effectively than any big overhaul. Yoga and Ayurveda remind us that the breath connects everything. the body, the mind, and the season. When we breathe in rhythm with nature, balance becomes less about doing and more about being. Thanks so much for listening to Rooted in the Seasons. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe or follow wherever you're listening. That way, you won't miss the next one. You can also download my free guide, my 5 quick Ayurvedic fixes from scattered to steady, and join my Sunday Read newsletter. You'll find the link in the show notes. And of course, I always love hearing from you. Message me on Instagram or drop me an email. I truly enjoy connecting with you. Until next time, stay rooted in the seasons. Bye-bye.